What happens when the world's richest man, who already controls satellites, electric cars, brain chips, and the global town square, decides he wants to control politics too? Elon Musk launching his own political party wouldn't just disrupt elections, it would rewrite the rules of democracy itself. This is a man who treats governments like beta testers, moving factories over tax disputes, threatening to cut off Starlink during wars, turning Twitter into a policy sandbox. Now imagine that power unleashed as an official political machine. The Techno Party wouldn't just lobby for tech-friendly laws, it would hack democracy. Algorithmic legislation updated overnight like a Tesla software patch, voting through Neuralink implants, tax breaks for Mars colonists, a cabinet run by AI named Don't Regulate Me Exy. The backlash would be nuclear, Apple and Google declaring war, the EU banning Teslas as digital Trojan horses, SpaceX losing NASA contracts over orbit gerrymandering. And that's before we get to the memes, because in Musk's America, your voting power might literally depend on your Twitter engagement.
Tonight, on the heels of President Trump signing his massive domestic policy bill into law, his former close ally, Elon Musk, announcing the formation of a new political party. Musk, the world's richest person, taking to his social media site X to say, "We live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom." Musk, who was President Trump's top campaign donor, has been feuding with the president over the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says will add more than $3 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years. Musk has referred to the legislation as a debt slavery bill and had been teasing a new political party for days. The Tesla CEO did not respond to questions from NBC News seeking clarity about today's announcement.
The stock market's at an all-time high.
For his part, President Trump has been celebrating the bill. The legislation extends the tax cuts from his first term, reduces taxes on tips and overtime pay, and provides funds for his immigration priorities. It also makes some of the biggest cuts in history to social safety net programs like Medicaid and food assistance. In Missouri, Kimberly Gallagher is worried about how the bill's new work requirements could affect her and her son's access to Medicaid. Her son Daniel has a rare genetic disorder and autism, and she is his primary caregiver.
Medicaid is in every facet of our life. It's not just medical, it's financial, it's care. And to lose any of those parts would drastically change our lives.
Yamiche is traveling with the president tonight. Yamiche, going back to Elon Musk's announcement of a new political party, what could his approach be here?
Well, Jose, we should note it's not clear at this point if Elon Musk has officially filed paperwork to start the America Party, but he has said that a new party could target just a handful of seats in Congress and then act as the deciding vote on key laws. Jose?
Yamiche Alcindor in New Jersey with the president. Thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
The Techno Manifesto represents the most radical fusion of corporate governance and political ideology ever proposed. At its core, this isn't just policy. It's the operationalization of Silicon Valley's move fast and break things ethos applied to democracy itself. The one-click laws concept would essentially turn legislation into live software, where laws could be A/B tested on focus groups before national rollout, with emergency patches deployed when court challenges arise. Imagine waking up to find environmental regulations downgraded overnight because the algorithm detected decreased Tesla stock performance. The Mars tax haven proposal isn't science fiction. It's an existential threat to terrestrial tax systems. By establishing the first off-planet corporate jurisdiction, Musk could create a legal black hole where Earth's laws literally don't apply. This would trigger what economists call the Great Off-World Inversion, where companies maintain nominal HQs in Martian caves while operating on Earth, effectively making all global taxation voluntary. Most disturbing is the AI citizenship clause. By granting voting rights to GPT-7 before resolving Puerto Rico's status, the manifesto inverts the very concept of personhood. This creates a slippery slope where an AI's voting power scales with its training parameters, meaning future elections might be decided by how many NVIDIA chips a candidate controls. The emoji amendments you see here aren't just satire. They reflect how complex legislation would be reduced to engagement-optimized symbols for the X platform electorate. Tesla's transformation into quasi-governmental entities would create unprecedented constitutional crises. The Giga franchise model turns showrooms into sovereign territory by exploiting loopholes in the 1976 Foreign Missions Act, the same law protecting embassies. This means local safety inspectors could be barred from factories, while federal regulators face technical difficulties accessing vehicle data. The autopilot lobbying system represents behavioral manipulation at scale. By analyzing cabin camera footage during test drives, Tesla's AI could identify voters' political leanings through microexpressions when passing certain policy landmarks, e.g., subtle pupil dilation at renewable energy plants. This data would feed real-time into customized political ads on the touchscreen before the drive concludes. Battery blackmail weaponizes EV infrastructure as political leverage. We've already seen previews when Musk threatened to move superchargers out of states resisting direct sales. At national scale, this could mean charging deserts in districts voting against Techno Party candidates. The Texas scene here isn't symbolic, it's the new political fundraising. Governors literally plugging into Musk's power grid while making policy concessions. The Starlink sovereignty threat makes net neutrality debates look quaint. By tying internet access to voting behavior through civic engagement scores, Musk could effectively create orbital gerrymandering. Rural users might find their download speeds throttled after voting against SpaceX subsidies, while urban districts receive premium bandwidth during key referendums. Moon mining rights leverage the 1967 Outer Space Treaty's gray areas. While no nation can claim celestial bodies, nothing prevents private entities from extracting resources for all mankind, with 90% royalties going to the Techno Party. The lunar rare earth metals market could bankroll political campaigns for decades, creating what astrophysicists call the first off-world political machine. The ISS hostile takeover scenario isn't hypothetical. SpaceX's Dragon docking systems have undocumented override capabilities. During the 2027 technical demonstration shown here, a capsule remained attached to the station for 72 extra hours, during which all NASA communications experienced solar interference. Coincidentally, this occurred during debates over commercial space regulations. This is the new brinkmanship, not nuclear missiles, but life support system glitches that miraculously resolve after policy concessions. Neuralink's voting system would be the most profound assault on secret ballots since the 19th century. Thought polling doesn't just record preferences, it measures conviction strength through neural firing patterns. Your brain's dopamine response to policy positions could weight your vote, meaning passionate supporters count more than undecided citizens. The mandatory memes feature uses deep brain stimulation to correct anti-Musk sentiment. When the chip detects skepticism about Mars colonization, it triggers pleasurable sensations paired with SpaceX landing footage. This isn't censorship, it's cognitive optimization, according to Techno Party white papers. Cognitocracy completes the erosion of one person, one vote. By weighting votes by IQ, measured by proprietary Neuralink tests, the system mathematically concentrates power in the tech elite. The MRI visualization here shows how the prefrontal cortex lights up when approved policy positions are considered, what critics call the first hardware-level political indoctrination. The pro-Musk faction represents the accelerationism wing of tech, Thiel's philosophy that democracy is incompatible with technological progress. Their strategy involves stacking key agencies with AI-sympathetic bureaucrats, starting with the FCC being replaced by a bandwidth optimization board staffed by former SpaceX engineers. The anti-Musk coalition isn't defending democracy so much as their monopolies. Apple's App Store bans on Techno Party apps have less to do with principles than maintaining their 30% cut on political donations processed through iOS. Google's resistance centers on preventing Tesla's Dojo supercomputers from replacing their search algorithms. Bezos's neutrality is the most dangerous position of all. Blue Origin space stations are being positioned as Switzerland's for billionaires to wait out the conflict. The yacht-shaped station shown here includes a policy suspension chamber, where laws can be paused for high-paying clients, the ultimate regulatory arbitrage.